Hello, this is Randy Nelson, and this is an edition of Extra Innings. As a retiring superintendent of schools, many things run across my mind when I reflect on 37 years in education. What's happened in those 37 years? What have we been doing in our schools? And even, what's on the horizon? To help facilitate the discussion, I've enlisted the assistance of Mr. Bob Schmidt, past radio talk show host, a parent, and a friend.
Talking about education and what makes education in the La Crosse area tick, one of the things that has changed, I think, a lot since my kids were little to now is community schools. We tend to have more community schools than we did 15 years ago.
One could argue that our community schools have always been community schools in that they serve neighborhoods, and we believe that neighborhood schools are a really important part of who we are. But a community school model intensifies what it means to be a neighborhood school. In that a neighborhood school, we always see this is where we bring our children. We love our school. We love our staff. We love everything that happens inside of our school. We're involved in the PTO, et cetera. But the community school model is one that actually intensifies it by creating more connections, not just with parents and not just with the students, but with organizations in that particular neighborhood, whether those would be churches or whether they would be businesses, creating opportunities for maybe mentorships, resources to come into play, making it a place where especially parents of children who maybe don't feel either welcome or comfortable in other settings can come to their local community school and they can be welcome there, and there are resources there to support them, et cetera. So this is the notion of community schools. I'm real proud that I think we're in our third year of community school operations, both at Northside Elementary School and also at Hamilton Elementary School.
So explain the difference between a neighborhood school and a community school then.
So the neighborhood school is really about geographic location.
Right.
But a community school takes the geographic location and says, what does this neighborhood have to offer the school, and how can we bring it into the school? For instance, one of the things that we've talked about before is in a community school model, perhaps partnering with a laundromat, or perhaps bringing in, for instance, a washer and a dryer, so that a student A who may not have had an opportunity to have their clothes washed for several days, they can be washed at school. We can take care of that. We can support that. We can support the parent. We can support the student. We've also talked about making sure that in a community school that we have, for instance, classroom space for adult learning, so that parents who, for instance, would like to have a class running there, that maybe through a partnership with one of our higher ed agencies, Western or Viterbo or UWL, that actually an adult course could be run right there. Maybe it's a parenting course. Maybe it's a course on marketing. Maybe it's a business course. We want it to turn out to be a hub where that particular parent or any parent can say, this is my school, and I'm going to drop in here. Both of those schools have a pretty significant opportunity to support a lot of the families in those schools on the weekends. It's not unusual for students to be filling up bags of groceries for some of the students in their schools who might need some food over the weekend. And so this hub, this opportunity really expands on that particular model. And of course, one of the things we want to make sure is in place is an opportunity for our local medical agencies to have an exam room or have a place where students, if necessary, and or parents and people from the neighborhood might be able to once a week be able to see a doctor and come in and see a doctor if they're not feeling well, and or an opportunity for a dental chair to be there so that a student could have a quick exam.
I'm guessing eyeglasses, hearing, all that stuff probably ties right in. I can totally see a great advantage of having community schools. I don't know if our community knows that we have this here.
They've really been developing. And so a couple of years ago, we brought the programs in. We actually hired what's called a community schools coordinator. And it's really been that person's job over the last couple of years to start cultivating relationships and start making, some of these things happen. And I think what's really cool about the community schools model is that we've got Hamilton and we have Northside right now as our community schools. There could be more in the future, but we have those two schools. And while they are community schools, their community school programming does not have to look the same. It's not a standardized approach to this. It really is intended to be one that's reflective of what the community and the neighborhood at large is saying. For instance, at Hamilton, we went through the process there of having several meetings with community members and with members in that particular neighborhood. What's needed here at the Hamilton school? How can this school serve to support you better and some of the needs that you have as parents? And we received a treasure trove of ideas that actually were starting to bring into play. And part of it was to make it a community school, provide someone there to provide supports. That person who's there is typically one that has other connections in the community, doesn't need to be a social worker, but is able to support a family who might need or this family who might need something else. And it's another touching point for families and for parents who need supports along the way. This is part of the role of a community school. Community school is to make sure that we're doing things that level as much as we can the playing field, so that when that student comes to school, that student knows my mom, my dad, my guardians, whoever are welcome in this particular school. I'm welcome in this particular school. This is my place. I love this place. I'm learning these things, and we're backfilling with experiences along the way. So it's a very complex thing that goes on with these, and we're just in the starting phases of our community schools. But I am really excited about what the future holds for the community schools and how they can really become the hubs of those neighborhoods and go further than that.
Thanks, Randy. I'm looking forward to our next Extra Innings conversation. Retiring Superintendent of Schools Randy Nelson's Extra Innings podcast is a podcastforhire.com production.